Well, we are back at our main shop today. We have not been here for a few weeks now in the videos. But I'm going to apologize because this video came out really late. And the reasoning is well, we came in yesterday. We got the soybean planter in the shed and it was in the back corner. So we had to move all the tractors and combines and stuff out of the way and nothing would start. It was all dead. It was all cold. We had a heck of a time. Kind of a funny video. I was pretty proud of it until I got home and realized that my new fancy GoPro Hero 10 didn't record any audio. So it was all useless. So moral of the story there is don't buy GoPro Hero 10 because I'm on my second one in about 4 months and neither of them have worked. You were really excited to hear that too, weren't you?
Yes. What was I excited to hear?
Oh yet last night when none of my footage had audio.
Oh.
So I'm gonna fill you guys in on what we did yesterday, and then fill you guys in what we did yesterday, and then we're gonna continue working on the planter today. So you guys are seeing this video like hours after the work's been completed. So it's about as real time as it can get. So yesterday, and I'll overlap the footage later of us taking it all apart, but we got the planter in. We got the 8345 RT hooked up to it. We're planning on using this tractor for the soybean planting this year, unless it's super dry. If we have another spring like last year where it's just super dry, we're not worried about compaction, we'll probably stick the wheel tractor back on it and just get this one ready for organic cultivating. But if there's any moisture at all, we're planning on using that one. When we came in yesterday, we took off all the depth wheels, all the discs or opening discs, and just seeing what needs to be replaced and what doesn't. So basically, some of these opening discs are good, some of them are not. So I think, hey, are the opening discs 15 inches new?
15 inches new.
15 inches new. So we were measuring them yesterday, seeing which ones were still 14.5 inches and above, putting those in a keep pile, and then throwing the rest of the smaller ones away.
So I'll say something. So
yep.
The John Deere manual, a lot of people don't throw seed discs till they're about 14 inches in diameter. But we plant about 3,200 acres of beans this year. And when the discs when they wear skinnier,
yep.
and they get smaller. And they get smaller in diameter. So when they're at 14 3/8, which most of these are at, it probably only lasts us about another 1,000 acres, and we really don't have time to
take a day in
the middle of planting and replace them. So, that's how we replace them.
I got a question for you though. So if the new ones are 15 inches,
yep,
and the ones that we're going to keep are 14.5 or a little bit above, if there's two rows side by side, one is 14.5, one is 15s, will one plant 1/4 inch deeper?
Yep.
Yeah, so you have to adjust the thing for that?
Yep. So, yeah, we might have one row, we put the old 14.5 inch discs on because they might last a year. And we probably just run those a setting deeper probably.
Okay.
So,
I was thinking about that last night.
But on corn planter, we wouldn't do that.
Emergence is pretty.
But beans is not quite as critical. So
corn emergence. I took a corn and soybean. I'm in soybean production right now. I took a corn production class at South Dakota State, and corn emergence is like, it's like a 30% hit right off the bat. If there's a row of corn plants, if there's one corn plant in like 17 foot that doesn't emerge the same day as the rest of them, it's like a 30% hit right off the bat on yield. So corn emergence is a big deal. Soybeans is a big deal too, but not as critical. And also, we've been having issues not issues, it's a mechanical thing, but on our depth wheels, having bearings go bad. So we'll lose a depth wheel. We'll be planting, we'll go check on the planter. Where is it at? Well, the bearing busted and it fell off. So we're going through, we're checking all that. I marked all the bad ones with little white X's, so that way we can get those replaced as well.
Some of these, that one's pretty good.
The one over here was really bad.
Last night there's 2 or 3 over here that were really bad.
That one was terrible.
That one needs to be replaced right away. That one might almost already be broken. That one's bad.
That one's not terrible.
That one's bad. That one's not too bad. That one's bad.
I put a question mark on that one. I didn't think that one was that bad.
No, that's fine.
I don't remember if there were a couple over here that were really bad or not. You can test that one.
That one's bad.
That one's not terrible.
So that's on ask Dad, because I don't know
At what point?
you replace the bearings and stuff. You probably just do them all and all. Just I don't know.
Yeah, if they start to wear into here,
Into the bracket that holds them.
yeah, they'll wear here, but I mean,
They're fine.
I'd say they got at least a year in them.
Yep.
It's usually, since we went to this style, we don't replace them unless you get in the mud and you start bending them out.
Okay.
So I think they're fine.
Okie dokie.
What's our census on closing wheel brackets?
Well, we never were planning on doing this, but I was gonna put all new bushings.
All new bushings in.
I don't know if you gotta, everything's gotta be in this right place when you put these together. You can tighten them.
Not with an impact.
Yeah, don't tighten them with an impact because I think was there a bolt inside that's got to be in the right. You're mechanical enough, you'll figure it out, but you can't. You can't just zip them out of the impact because if they're not in right, it'll crack them.
Oh, okay.
And then the other thing is when you put them in, you gotta make sure this is centered in the back.
You kind of look in the back and try to get it centered.
Okay.
It's not.
So bushings
It's
there.
not rocket science or really hard.
And then we gotta change some of these wheels around because they're wearing on. Just flip them because they start to wear on the outside. If you just look at this wheel here, Carson, they're wearing pretty bad here. So we just flip them around. We'll get by another year, and then we might need new wheels,
So we're keeping,
closing wheels too.
so frogs, we're keeping the frogs.
They're called a seed tube holder.
Seed tube holder. I said, you keep saying frog. I don't know.
That's what they used to call them.
They're C2 guards and they're inner scrapers is what they're called. I think
Some reason that's what they
inner
used to be
scrapers
called.
or C2 guards.
Back in the old days when you walked to school uphill both ways.
Yeah, maybe it had something to do with a horse. With the horses, I don't know where the frog came from. Or it was oxen, I don't know.
Yeah, I see that. That's really.
I think they'll make it through the year. But
The other thing is we didn't replace.
This is a whole separate piece right here, right?
yeah.
Did we replace this? Because look how far they've wore down.
I know, we did replace
You
it,
replace these two?
but they were shoop. I mean,
Could you?
they were an OEM, but like I said, OEM tends to suck too.
Could you? I mean, it'd be a lot of work, but could you drill out the hole a little bit and put a bushing in there?
Probably could.
I mean, it would suck, but I think it'd be doable.
I don't think those pieces are that expensive.
They're 40 bucks a piece.
40 times 31. Yeah. I'm not gonna do the math in my head, but I know it's a big number.
Everything you do with every road is $1,000, so the bushings will be $500. Just some little bushing.
3D printing bushings, and you just replace them all the
Start
time.
printing now, and you'll have them done by next spring. Yeah, that is really disappointing because those are new. I think we did all of them, didn't we, Chris?
I came a couple days when I was at college and helped you guys. I know we did the front rows, so I mean, I think we did the back rows too.
These are a lot better. Unless we replace these because they had already replaced somebody else to replace the front.
That's in a wheel track too.
That's not real track, easy work.
Probably the shoot sailing today. Well, that one's like new.
Ooh, these are all bad. We almost got to replace them, Dad.
Yeah, we probably do.
These are all really bad.
Chris knows about it too, but this hydraulic hose busted. It's like 3 foot long. It'll be pretty easy, but just I won't be here when you have time to get that.
So the problem is this, I think the shoot sail ends today.
Okay. We don't have Deere charges for them.
What?
We don't have Deere.
We can probably look it up in the parts book, maybe.
What?
Do you know what Deere charges for them versus shoot?
No, I don't. I'm not really for going through shoot, but I don't know if Deere's gonna be able to get them. I guess I'll see if Shoop has them first. Maybe I'll just order maybe I'll order from Shoop just to be sure.
Can you return them?
Probably not.
You can't return GoPros after 30 days. Figured that out this morning. Doing this reminds me, we had at South Dakota State, we have, I think there's 4 2-row planters, and there's a Deere, a Case, a Kinsey, and a White. And we use it for a bunch of stuff, for intro precision ag class, we use it for hydraulics pneumatics class. We actually plant with them in our test plots and then take the data off and use them for making like prescription maps and stuff. But I don't think we put enough acres on them to go through and rebuild them every year, or every 5 years for that matter. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take these closing wheels off because we gotta replace the bushings in here anyways and replace all these because, well, you can see all that wear right there. So, first I'm gonna play the time-lapse footage I took yesterday of us getting it to the point where it is right now, and then you'll see.
Do you have any video to go with, or any audio to go with your time lapse?
The time lapses don't have audio anyways.
Oh.
So that's the only footage that turned out. So we had mentioned bearings earlier, or bushings, sorry, my bad, in the closing wheels. So they go right here, and they look like this. Let me look in the back, make sure I can get it right. As you see, it's just a solid bearing. I just took apart this row right here, and this is an example of one that's pretty worn out. You can see that groove in there compared to the way that they are new. So if you let these get really worn out, then it actually creates slop and it starts wearing out the hole in the bracket itself. Then you gotta replace the bracket too. So that's the reason we're going around and replacing all these bushings. Caution, disc blades are sharp. How's that going for you?
Just a little bit of blood.
One nick so far?
One so far.
Not ain't bad. Well, got all the closing wheels taken off. Chris has been going around getting all the opening discs in, and then he has his credit card that he puts between business card that he puts in this gap up here, and then he rotates the discs. Here, you gonna do it here?
Yep. About 2 inches is what we are looking for. And that is a lot less than 2 inches. So I'm gonna put another spacer on each side.
So each of these discs has these little spacers that you can take in or add or subtract to move those discs in and out to get the right spacing there. Other than that, we have to wait. Dad's ordering the closing wheel parts, the brackets, discs. We gotta do the top rows yet too, but that'll be another day.
I wonder if one of these discs isn't worked. It's not. I just took way too much. That really tight.
Spin this. This one's warped.
Yep, that one's bad.
Yep, that one's warped.
Send that back to John Deere. See what they do.
How's that, the second warped one you've had?
Yep.
I'm terrible. Well, there we go, guys. That is gonna be it for this video. Dad and I gotta leave. We're gonna go check out a neighbor's row crop cultivator because we're gonna have some new tech coming on that cultivator this summer. So make sure you guys subscribe to see that because that's gonna be awesome. And I'll see you in the next one.